this will lead me to inside the water, which will probably lead me back to that other treasure, which is great. Now we can encounter a different enemy. Yeah, so now that we're in a kind of different sort of area, we do have different sort of enemies that we can encounter, which is pretty cool. I like how they kind of split this dungeon up. You've got your actual temple versus the natural surroundings, which is just kind of neat. But really, the strat here is not a whole lot different than the previous strat. If Fina can ever get her move in. I didn't know if Fina's move would actually be able to take out those other guys. Probably not, considering how much HP they had. But it can take out all these guys, no problem.
That was easy.
There we go. Some gold and some XP. You're up a rank in yellow. I think I'll just leave you on yellow. Everyone else needs it too. Could move her to purple, because a lot of people need purple. Actually, that's not the worst idea. So I'm pretty sure most people need a rank up in purple. You do. You're actually fine. You actually need a rank up in yellow. Maybe I will leave you in. Actually, you just are the only one who doesn't, so... yeah, sure, I'll just leave you in yellow. So let's explore this underwater section. So we can go backwards through here, and it looked like there was another way we could have gone as well. But if we go through here, I believe it'll lead us back to that treasure that we saw earlier. I don't know if there's anywhere else we can really go from this direction. I don't think there probably is. All in all, this dungeon is actually pretty linear. It's a very big and pretty slow dungeon, but it's not exactly difficult. But here, I believe we will get our standard Zivlin Bane encounter. Yep, here we go. Alright. Well, we already know how to deal with these guys. Let's set up a skull shield. And let's see. Still don't have the highest level of that. I don't have enough to set up a Quicka. Yeah, I don't have enough to set up a Quicka. You know what? I'm actually going to have you two can just focus, and Enrique can attack it. Unless he uses burst, he won't be able to hurt me. And he's going to use burst, so he's going to hurt me. Vice can go ahead and just take another one of those and still be fine, so I'm not that concerned. Alternatively, instead of using... if you're more concerned about the burst, instead of using Skull Shield, you could be using Enrique's Justice Shield, which would protect against everything. It would just set everyone into a defense. It would cause a defense against both burst and attack, but it wouldn't fully resist any of them. It would just have the damage, which is good, because Skull Shield doesn't do anything against burst. But considering he will usually attack instead of using burst, I would just rather use that. Or rather defend against that. Especially since it'll also counter. Alright, so now I can Skull Shield, and let's go ahead and set up Quicka as well. We'll get a little bit more focusing in, because you're not going to do a whole lot of damage.
Moons, give me strength!
I probably don't need to be setting up for this guy nearly as much as I am. I probably could just take him down with a series of strong hits. But he can do a lot of damage to you if you're not careful. So, it's not the worst idea to be a little bit more methodical with this guy. That burst attack does a lot of It can hurt a lot. It can hurt a lot. But he doesn't usually use it twice in a row. So let's go ahead and set up an Increm on Vice. Unless you can use... No, you've got Pyrulen. Yeah, unfortunately the highest tier of fire magic is what lets you do the party-wide Increm. Which takes a long time to get to that point. It's very useful when you do, though. Alright, well let's get these two boys boosted up.
Moons, give me
And then at that point I can start really focusing on doing some real damage. You're just gonna get countered. There we go.
Moons, give me strength.
We'll boost you up as well. There we go. Alright. And with that, let's go ahead and use a Cutlass Fury. I actually want you to just go ahead and focus, and attack. He's probably going to end up doing a burst on this round if I had to guess. So using that Skull Shield isn't going to help a whole heck of a lot. And that's just some intuition. As far as I know, he'll just... Yep, okay, he's going to go with the burst. He's kind of just been alternating attack, burst, which is why I figured he was probably going to burst. That does mean I'm not protected against his counterattacks, though, so... But that's alright, because now I can just Cutlass Fury, you can defend, and just in case, hit him with a Royal Blade as well, but I think this Cutlass Fury will do it. There we go.
I hope that I'm being useful.
Nothing too terrible. Alright, for that we get a Sylph Seed, and we get the Wind Song Orb. Again, all of the treasures that these guys defend are only here to be sold for a bunch of money. That's it. That's all they're here for. There's no real point in holding on to them like I've been doing, but I just like to. So I'm doing so. And as I've kind of demonstrated throughout this game, money's not really a problem unless you're running away a lot. Like, I haven't sold hardly anything, and I still have a ton of money. Like, they give you a lot of money in this game, so it's really not an issue. If you are actually exploring, finding all the discoveries, doing all the things, you're not going to have any trouble with money. But we can go ahead, walk back to this other room, because it did look like there was another way we could have gone. Right, explore this corner a little bit here. Fill out the map a little. Okay, so we can go through here. Let's see where this takes me. This takes me to another split path. Alright, so that'll take me up. And this will take me to another... Oh, this just takes me to a wall. Alright. Noted. Well, this will take me up, so let's see what's over here. Oh, and this will take me up here, which leads to another switch. Alright, cool. Oh, here we go. So this was the other guy we can find here, the Mantoid. I'm gonna go ahead and Lambda Burst, see what sort of damage it does on these Spherus. But otherwise, actually Fina, go ahead and just do a focus. And this guy is pretty susceptible to sleep and mute, if I recall correctly. So Enrique's Blade should be pretty helpful here. Let's see if we can put him to sleep. No, not quite. Alright, fair enough. Well, he won't survive a couple more hits, so it should be fine. Alright. I'm tempted to go for Rain of Swords, but I think a Lambda Burst will actually be... Or, I'll just go for the Omega Cyclone instead. And we'll just focus him, because he'll probably be KO'd here. Alright. And this should finish. Yep, there we go. That guy is pretty nasty. I'm pretty sure he can put you to sleep with his regular attack. And he has a lot of HP. He also has a heavy hitting single target move that he can use, which is pretty nasty, and I don't appreciate it. So anytime I can take those guys out quickly, I'm happy to do so. Alright, well this will finish filling this place up with water, and then we should be all set. There were more paths we could take through here, so I'm going to want to take those before we go back to that main little hub. Okay, so we're back at this little fork in the road area, so let's see what's on this side this time. Which I believe looks like it just leads me to another wall. So, not a lot to see over here so far. We've just got these little dingle hoppers here, so let's just Lambda Burst them. And cut them down to side. Not going to be an issue. I did test Fina's Lunar Winds against these guys as well. It did about as much as a Lambda Burst. Extremely comparable, in fact. So either one, neither one will kill them, but they both do pretty comparable damage. Either way, though, we'll just take them out, get some XP, keep on going. Yep, just a wall. Alright, fair enough. Well, we just need to go back to that hub room then, and then we can proceed with the dungeon. Oh, cool. Alright. I could just reach level 36 with that level up, and got one more spirit. So now I will be getting 11 spirit per turn. If Fina can also get to that point, then I will be getting 12 per turn, and instead of using Lambda Burst, I can use Omega Cyclone every turn, just to start things off and wipe out a bunch of people, which will be awesome. But now that we have opened this place up, we can put on our suit and jump on down. I think the reasoning behind why we couldn't just do this earlier, when we had 3 water levels up instead of all 4, is because you have to put the suit on, then walk into the water, and then jump down. I don't think you can... I don't know. I feel like the in-game explanation would have been something along the lines of putting the suit on and then trying to jump down wouldn't have worked for some reason. Instead, you needed to be able to walk into the water with the suit on. I don't know. I have no idea. It makes no sense. It's just kind of there. Now, there's not a whole heck of a lot to see down here. All there really is this pathway over here to take. No chams, no nothing. Just a giant, empty room with a single path. But that's okay, because we can take that. Leads us to this little waterfall. And if we turn around here, we can take this rope back up. With our very squeaky rope climb. That will lead us over here, where we can get this gem. Or moonfish, I should say. This is also how we get out of here. We can take this platform down, which is how we'll get back to the exit. Now, whether this platform stays down and then you can take it back up here, I'm not really sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it just goes back down. It's not like it's going to save you a whole lot of time either way. It's just the only way for you to get back after you've dove into the water. But we don't really need that, so let's just keep going here. All I was concerned about was getting that moonfish anyway. we're going to have more of these split paths, and Cupel is starting to react. Let's go this way. Looks like this might have actually been the correct path to go. Cupel isn't reacting as strongly, and it looks like there's an open room. Alright. Well, let's Lambda Burst, because that'll take out the Krill Hounds at the very least. There we go. Ooh, a crit. Nice. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, do I have Tika Tika on, or do I have Domingo? Because I should have Domingo, so I have higher chance of crit hits. It's not like I'm going to be in ship battles while I'm exploring this dungeon. Alright. Well, let's Cutlass Fury this guy. Ica... Actually... Yeah, I could go ahead and attack this one as well. Fina, use a Lunar Wind, because that'll hit both of them. This should be enough to take out the one, do some damage to the other as well. He's gonna get countered. Oh, but I put him to sleep, so that's neat. Not that it's gonna matter, because Vice is gonna take him out here, but... In fact, I think Vice could have taken him out even without that hit from Enrique, but whatever. Not too concerned. Alright. Oh, this just leads to a treasure. Cool. I'm glad I went this way first then. Which we get another Moonberry. Alright. Well, everyone in my party currently has all their moves unlocked, so those Moonberries aren't as useful to me anymore. I'm pretty sure you can sell Moonberries. I'm not going to. I plan to use them a little later in the game. Actually, a lot later in the game. Almost at the very end of the game. But, you know, I'll hang on to them anyway. I don't consider them to be worth selling, really. I'm gonna have you just focus. Do some damage. Take out those krill beasts. And then I can do a little bit of damage to this guy. Cool, put him to sleep. I'll take it. Now I'm having her focus because this way, Enrique and Vice can both use their strong single targets. So, since that guy is already asleep, I'll just have you guys focus, and you two can probably take out that guy on your own. Oh yeah, we can definitely take these guys out. No problem. Yeah, Royal Blade is actually stronger than Cutlass Fury, which I guess is to be expected, but... No, we'll just have you guys defend, and whichever one of you can hit first. There we go. These guys might also be weak to the green element, so that might also be another reason why Enrique was doing a bit more damage, even though he has a lower attack stack than Vice. But either way, oh, and we're gonna get more Moonberries. Alright, cool. Sure, why not? Okay, so these guys are a static encounter. This is exactly why I wanted to have the Gem of Fluidity. So I'm going to nerf everyone's stats here a little bit, and I'm going to equip a Gem of Fluidity on everyone, because this was the dungeon that I want these for. Everyone's stats are going to take a bit of a hit here, but it'll be okay, because these guys can cast stone. In fact, they really, really like to cast stone. There we go. I don't even remember what I had him initially. Oh, that's right. I had him with the thing that gets me first strikes more often. But yeah, these guys really like casting stone. And also, the boss in this dungeon really likes casting stone. Well, we'll just top you guys off. Why not? Alright. So as soon as we walk through here, it will automatically throw us into an encounter with these guys. Now, these guys are also very helpful in that they like to drop gems of fluidity. So if you don't have enough of them, these guys are a pretty good way to get them. If you only have like 2 or 3, chances are you can usually get at least 1, oftentimes 2 gems of fluidity from these guys. They're also not super tough. Like, they're strong, but they're not super strong. Alright, so we'll just Cutlass Fury. There's no point in you guys getting threatened by a counterattack. You guys can just use your super moves, take them out. There we go.
That was fun.
Now, they don't always drop a gem of fluidity. It's, you know, not a 100%, but it's pretty likely.